Welcome to part 2 of this video. If you haven't watched part 1 yet, I strongly recommend you to do that first. So, Mendip. This disc golf course is in Mendip Hills. As the name suggests, a very hilly area, and much of the disc golf course has elevation change. There are several different layouts on this course: the green, the blue and the red, and they are very well signposted. However, today I will be playing a layout that is exclusive to U-Disc. Here we are at hole 1. I'm going to play the Johnny Walker layout on U-Disc, which is a hybrid layout. The red course and the green course have different tees and baskets, and Johnny Walker uses a combination of them. So it's going to be very interesting. I never played this layout before. Come along. Hole 1, this is 89 meters par 3. I'm going to throw the S-line TD. It's slightly uphill and very narrow. Save the par. Hole 2 is an 87 meters par 3. It's a hybrid hole. I'm going to throw the MD1. Yeah, you can't see the basket from tee. It's a blind shot and a narrow passage or gap to hit. I'm through, but slightly to the left. I'm safe. It's going to be a meter out from the OB line. And a very sketchy circle's edge or outside the circle, I think, putt for birdie. Oh well, it's a tap-in par. Right, hole 3. Is hole 2 on the red layout. The sign says 94 meters, U-Disc says 104 meters, I think. Anyway, it's a very tricky turnover on backhand through a narrow gap and up through to the basket over there. So I'm going to throw my Neo Essence on hopefully a turnover line. I hit the one tree you have to miss. It's going to be a very tricky forehand to get through. Way too low. That was a bad approach shot. Don't do this at home. Obstructed outside C1 for bogey. Words I don't like. Tap in double bogey. You may have noticed this course is rather tricky. Challenging, I should say. Hole 4. 69 meters, par 3. I'm going to throw a FDC line on a flex forehand. Hopefully get up there. It's steeply uphill. Right, just a little bit too high. Thankfully I didn't roll. And I don't know where the basket is. I think it's up there somewhere. Turns out I was wrong about where the basket is. I'm outside C1. Wind took it. Might be a difficult comebacker as well. So, maybe 7 meters for bogey. Yes, yes, yes. Damage control. So, hole 5. It's 74 meters, par 3. It's a very fast green, if memory serves. I'll throw a forehand, FD1. Parked, would you believe it? And we're on the scoreboard. Hole 6, 82 meters, very steeply uphill and around the trees up on the right here. I'm going to throw an Essence on forehand. Hope to flip it up a little bit. Let's see how close to the actual mound we can get. Little bit short. So, a little bit of a tester for par. Oh dear. The comebacker for bogey. Right. Just thought I'd take a moment to admire the surroundings. This place is just beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous. Rolling hills. We're now in the more open section of the course, and sometimes there are grazing sheep here. Not today. Hole 7. It's a par 3, 84 meters, sharply downhill. You can just about see the basket over the brow of the hill. I'm going to throw my shadow stone sea line method on forehand. Come back, come back. Might be in C1. Yes, maybe my definition of C1 is somewhat optimistic in this instance. This is definitely a death putt. And it's uphill. Actually, not too much of a death putt, it turns out. Because it's a par. Hole 8. So, this one, according to UDisc, the map on UDisc, is identical to hole 6. So, I'm going to take a guess here and throw to the pin that is slightly straighter going up the hill. And I'm going to throw a Neo Essence, since it's also very uphill, on a backhand this time. So I'm perfectly lined up with the trees and the basket, which means I don't have a line for the putt. I guess I'll just have to lay up. The rolling away potential is just quite great. And just to tap in the par. There they are, the sheep. They were simply hiding. Hole 9 and the mystery thickens. I can't find any tee pad for this hole, but UDisc says 90 meters. I measured out 90 meters to the basket down there, and I'm going to throw Nordic Phenom on forehand and see how that goes. Right. A little bit short. Not much of a run up here. Right, so C2 approach, headwind. Here we go. Par. Hole 10. The red number 6 hole. It's a par 4 and it's 181 meters, I think. It says on UDisc. It's a very long par 4 because it's uphill first. There are 2 mandos I have to pass on the right of the first pylon and on the left of the second pylon when we get up on the hill. And those bushes on the right over there are OB. So our first shot will just try to place myself a little bit further up on the hill and to the right of the first pylon. So I throw a forehand, an S-line TD. Ah, that was fortunate. Second shot needs quite a lot of power. I'm throwing my Neo Essence. No run up possible, so it'll have to be a standstill backhand. So 53 meters left of the basket for this approach shot. It's severely downhill. I don't know if you can see that very well. And there is a very fast green with a tendency for endless rollaways. I'm going to throw my P3X on a forehand and hope and pray it stays in the right spot. Right, don't know if it rolled or not, but I'm outside C1. Uphill putt. Seems to be a theme. C'est la vie. Tap in bogey. Hole 11. It's red layout, hole 7. It's 84 meters, par 3, with OB bushes on the right. I have to get past the OB bushes and up to the right. So I'm throwing Nordic Phenom forehand and hope that it will fade back a little bit. But it's uphill going into the basket. Just outside circle 1 for birdie this time. Tap in par. Hole 12. We are back on the tee for hole 6 and 8. But this one is going in the other direction. It's 109 meters according to UDisc. 109 meter par 3. I'm going to throw my S-Line TD. Forgot to say, there is an OB line on the left. I hope I'm not OB. Maybe 15 meters. Yeah, I would call this a death putt. Don't want to end up in the brambles below the basket. So it will probably just be a layup. It's a tap-in par. Hole 13. It's the red layout, hole 9. It's 114 meter according to UDisc. Par 3. It's a turnover hugging the tree line on the right. The Mando is to the right of the big tree on the left. I'm throwing a Neo Essence on a bit of a turnover. Let's hope for the best. I threw it dead straight, but I should have a good approach. About 20 meters left, just a long putt. This approach. Okay, for par. Hole 14. It's 123 meters, par 3, over that fence, which is hazard, I believe, up until that fence, and into the tree line over on the other side. So, try a max distance shot with the Essence. I completely messed that one up. So, it's a hyzer approach. It's a very precise gap to hit and then fade in. I'm throwing my hard extra tactic. I think it came through. So, quite a tester for the par. Severely uphill, I don't know if it's very visible. Aim high. It went in. On to hole 15. And this one is a par 4, 194 meters, depending on who you ask. Very tricky drive here. A lot of OB both on right and on left. I myself am going to try to just get a forehand over into the field after this initial OB section. Yeah, tricky. Turns out that was rather a good drive. I have 104 meters left to the basket. It looks a little bit like it's downhill, but it's uphill right at the end, so maybe neutral elevation all in all. Wind has picked up again. Essence, standstill. Way too low. So that was only half the distance, turns out, exactly half the distance. So 52 meters left to the basket. It's a tactic forehand approach. So another lengthy par putt, maybe 9 meters. it's a bogey. Hole 16, 152 meters, par 4. It shares the basket with hole 14. So just a little bit longer, and nothing says I have to get over the fence, but I would quite like to. So backhand TD. Very similar shot to my second shot on 14. This one is further back though. Same thing again, tactic, backhand hyzer. Circle 2 for birdie. Uphill. It's a lengthy putt. Tap in par. Hole 17 shares the tee pad with hole 15. And hole 17 is 126 meters, par 3. And I think you can just about make out the basket closest to the fence down there. I don't think there is any OB or hazard. I'm going to throw my TD on the forehand. Let it glide down. Yeah, that was way too low. Upshot with a tactic. Again, it's the basket nearest to the fence. Just about circle 1. Just a nature appreciation moment. Truly is beautiful. The rolling hills of Mendip. So, a bit of a scary putt for par. Not great. Comebacker. 6 meters uphill. Green is quite steep. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah. Double. Hole 18 finally. 116 meters par 3. The basket is the same as hole 13, I believe. Blind from the tee. I'm just going to try a nice and easy forehand with a TD. It turned over. I might have about 55, 60 meters to the basket downhill. Approach with the tactic. And I hope it won't roll. A little bit too far. I think it hit the tree line. We'll see. Yep. Hit the brambles. Outside C1 for par. Where have I heard that before? Feels familiar. Right, it's uphill and I have to straddle and I'm standing in brambles. And I hit it! I can't believe it! Perfect putt to close the round. So there we have it. Today's total score is +7, 7 over par. And I didn't exactly play my very best. In places I regressed to some old habits, but I'm sure I will get used to videoing and playing at the same time. The U-Disc round rating was 191, which more or less corresponds to my official PDGA rating as well. So, final verdict. I think it's fair to say that more British people need to discover the joys of disc golf, and the Mendips is a beautiful place to do that. The layout that I played today is clearly not finished yet. There are missing tee pads in places and it's difficult to find some holes, but the green, blue and red layouts are ready to play and enjoyable, and I hope that the Johnny Walker layout will be made more permanent in the future. Thank you for joining me on my round of disc golf today, and I'll see you in the next video.